Methods of working with historical sources, generalization, interpretation, and practical application in research. Plan. Historical sources as the basis of scientific knowledge of the past, classification and selection of historical sources in research. Methods of generalizing information from historical sources, interpretation of historical sources and contextual analysis, critical analysis and verification of the reliability of sources, practical application of method for working with sources in research activity, generalization of result and formulation of historical conclusions. Historical sources are the basis of scientific knowledge of the past. Historical sources are the basis for understanding the past and for historical scholarship. They provide evidence of events, processes, and phenomena of past eras. Historical knowledge is formed through the analysis and interpretation of sources. The reliability of conclusions depends on the quality and differentiation of sources. Classification and selection of historical sources in research. Historical sources are classified according to their origin, form, and content. The main groups include written, material, visual, and oral sources. The selection of sources depends on the research topic, objectives, and chronological framework. Key criteria are reliability, representativeness, and completeness of the source base. Method of synthesizing information from historical sources, systematization and grouping for source-based information, comparative analysis of facts and data from different sources, identification of key facts, trends, and patterns, synthesis of the collect data into general conclusions and summarize. Interpretation of historical sources and contextual analysis, interpretation of a source's content with consideration of its historical context, analysis of the time, place, authorship, and purpose of the source, identification of the author's perspective, possible basis, and value orientation, correlation of the source's information with other historical materials. Critical analysis of historical source. Object Шарів Капелес, Богодухів District, Archive Region, Type of source, visual and material. Origin Шарів Капелес is a monument of palace and park architecture dating from the late 19th to the early 20th century. Critical analysis and verification of source reliability, evaluation of the origin, authorship, and condition of the source's creation, verification of the reliability, accuracy, and completeness of the information, identification of contradiction and possible falsification, comparison of data with other independent sources. Practical application of method for working with sources in research activity. Method of working with historical sources are used in research, academic papers, and projects. They enable the analysis, comparison, and synthesis of historical information. Combining different types of source helps to build a well-argued position. Based on the source base, well-founded historical conclusions are formulated. Literature. Thank you for your attention.